Welcome, everybody, to the next installment of the UpScale Business Podcast. I'm your host, Mitch Van, and I've got
Nathan G.
in the house.
Yeah.
Good to see you. How you been?
Yeah, I'm really good, man. It's been an interesting week. I've moved house.
Yep.
I have unpacked that house and I found spots for everything to live.
Except for that framed piece that I keep seeing in the back of your video sessions with our clients.
Yes. Yeah, look, and there's a few towels and boxes and things still hanging around that I can't find a home for. But all in all, things are good, man. I'm still getting out for a surf every morning, been getting to the gym and just seeing heaps of customers and having a lot of fun.
Perfect.
Lots of good stuff going on around here lately, man.
Yeah, there is.
But before we get to that, how are you?
I'm good. You know what? No number. No number today.
No number.
No. I mean, internally, I'm really wanting to after saying no number. But I'm going to give an A+.
An A+.
Yeah.
Why the no number?
I don't know. I just want to change it up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I feel like keeping it exciting.
Yeah. And that's the great segue. There you go, man. You're smooth.
I am.
Today, we are talking about keeping business exciting. Who doesn't want an exciting workplace?
I definitely want an exciting workplace. I mean, let's actually just go back from that. Who doesn't want excitement?
Yeah, it's what life's all about, right? If you're not excited, if you're not having fun, then you're bored and you're hating life.
Yeah. If we want to put that really simply, we do a weekly setup call with all of our clients twice a week. On a Monday, we do a 7 a.m. and 11 at 1 p.m. And one of the big things that they have to answer in that is, what's their X factor? Why are they doing this? What is the thing?
What's it all for?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think this is something you do really well as well. Like having worked with you and for you in the past, I really always enjoyed how fun you made the workplace. And I've seen that in your coaching calls. And I think that's something that we all appreciate. And, who doesn't want to create a more exciting, a better life? And that's why you're in business coaching. That's why you're doing this whole thing.
Yep. So for me, where did this come up? Now that we're talking about excitement, we're talking about keeping things fresh. I was thinking about this the other day when we were in the session, our actual weekly setup call. And we were talking about Valentine's Day. We were talking about the fact that, at the start of a relationship, everything's really exciting. It's all new. It's all fresh. It's all like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then something, I love this. And then something happens.
Yeah.
And I was hearing this from a lot of the clients, once again, in a call with a decent amount of people. And I was thinking to myself, I personally don't feel that. Because I think that if something, like, you have to work on things.
Everything.
You have to put energy in, you have to put effort in. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if something is a true reflection of who you are, which is what a business should be, you should never make a business that doesn't reflect who you are as a person. If everything reflects who you are, then ultimately it's always fun and exciting. And yes, there's hard times, but that doesn't mean the excitement's gone. And so I challenged a couple of these guys on that call. And, one of the guys came up with this great idea, and he actually translated it straight to business, which was cool. But I reckon, why don't we talk today about how do we keep business exciting? How do we keep life and all those things exciting while going through the trials and tribulations and the struggles that can actually come up with business? Because it's not like this. It's not just clear sailing up.
There are definitely challenging times, but how do we build a mindset and some practices within our lives and our business that keeps things exciting, keeps things new, and keeps things moving forward?
Yeah. So I like talking with someone on a real level. I like keeping it real. And if we've got Nathan G in the house, let's talk into that. What does your practice look like? If we talk about you, you're in this business, this is our business. And you're always able to keep it exciting, through hard times and, the great times. What are you doing yourself to do that?
Let's take it back to a personal level, because I think it starts with how you manage your own life. Like, so many things start before we get to business, and in our relationships and all the other areas of our life, we have to look at how we are conducting ourselves and what we're doing for ourselves to maintain the best version of ourselves. Because if we're stressed, if we're tired, if we're not showing up for ourselves and doing exciting things, then we're not going to bring that energy into those other spaces. And I think that's the foremost. So, we started this business, just short of a year ago. And obviously there's been some challenging times between us as a team and as an individual.
I'm smiling I'm smiling because, and this is where personality types comes massively into this. We've also got Arena, who's not here with us today. And if we talk about the 3 different personalities of all of us, I smiled then because a lot of the time when we're in the challenging space, or when maybe something's going on a little bit, or someone's coming at us, maybe, that's where I thrive. That's where I laugh. That's where I enjoy it. That's where I'm like in my element. Whereas others, they go into that stress state. They go into like, I haven't slept. And I'm that like, you know what, it'll be cool. Let's look at how we can capitalize on this.
And you've adopted that mindset through having been through these experiences before. When you're first experiencing these things for the first time, fear is a very natural component of what comes in. And fear can overwhelm. It can really take over the mind. And for me personally, how I've combated these fears and these situations that we have gone through is through my own personal practices. So for me, the fundamentals are, I found some things that, some passions, some hobbies, some things that I wanted to pursue, and I made sure that I made time for them. So every morning I'm up at 4 o'clock. I'm meditating. I'm basically getting ready to go down to the beach for a surf, and I'm down there for the sunrise. I do that every single morning. I couldn't surf 12 months ago, and I got beaten up by the surf for 6 months. But consistently, I've shown up, and now I'm having a great time out there. I've met people out there before 8 o'clock. I have been with a whole group of people. I've seen the sunrise. I've had the sun on my skin. I feel good. I try to get to the gym every morning. So I feel healthy and fit and proud of myself. And, you know, for lack of a better word, powerful, you know, like I feel strong. I feel healthy. I feel like I'm working towards something.
Which just to stop you in that, and I think that's a really important thing to acknowledge. And I'm talking to us, you know, 2 guys on a couch here. I think that's a really important thing, is that as a man in today's world, that you do things that actually help you feel in your masculine. And I don't want to get into some debate about, you know, healthy masculine, unhealthy, whatever it is. I just want to say that I really commend you on that, is that I think that's an important thing of how you show up. And how I see, you know, dozens of our clients show up as well that have that kind of practice in the morning, is that they step into that powerful space.
And it also, it releases a lot of frustration and energy. So I find the ocean's a really fantastic way to do that. And also through exercise, I get out a lot of that stressful kind of backlog that's in my body, which gives me a clear slate. So I rock up at work, and I've had a full day before I've even started, and I'm now ready to face the day and whatever comes my way. Within that as well, I think I've had to face a lot of my own challenges in growing this business and in stepping into new spaces and unfamiliar territory. And how I have combated those things is purely through mindset. So having a goal, consistently showing up no matter what the feelings are, and having these vices and these healthy behaviors that help me de-stress, clear the slate, and start again. That's a really, really important part for me. So I'd say the self-care component has got to be the basis of it all. Okay. What about yourself, mate?
You're looking for my self-care practice?
Well, how do you keep things exciting? What is it that you do that enables you to show up the best you each day?
So I think there's quite a few things in play in here. If we talk about my own self-care space, I'm what we call like a single full-time dad. And, you know, so there's a big component of my morning that is taken up with kids, loved ones, all that kind of thing. And I really commit to giving them that time. If we talk about myself, I'm someone that has always, and I call it like a gift of my own. I'm not saying it's better than anyone else's, whatever, but I'm someone that doesn't massively need a lot to establish a really healthy baseline. You know, I've been through different phases where gym was life, you know, 2-hour workouts every single morning, eating perfectly and all those kind of things. And while I loved that, it became quite a complexity in my life as I grew, especially into the business space, into fatherhood, lovers, partners, like that space. It's a lot to keep up.
Time is like, I mean, that's one of the things that I've got, but I imagine in your position, you've got to look at other ways, right?
Yes. And so for me, it sounds really simple, but, you know, I'm trying to explain this in the way that actually makes it to be able to understood, because I myself haven't been able to put a pin on it. I run a very, very good baseline, no matter the stress that's sitting on my shoulders. And yep, like you said, that's come from years and years of practice, you know, but also years and years of forced situations. If we want to kind of like go deep and go back, I wouldn't call my childhood the easiest, but I also wouldn't say it was the hardest. But there was a lot of different stresses in that space, very different circumstances than some might be used to. But that in itself taught me how to really kind of just quickly reestablish a nice, healthy baseline so I could get on with my day. You know, I was definitely a high achiever through my teens in academic ways, but definitely in sports. And in that realm, you don't have time to always be, you know, having to recheck yourself on that. So for me, a lot of it does come natural, but in saying that, it's worked on. You know, and I do fluctuate. Like I go through some struggling times where I have to disconnect and do my thing. But ultimately, I've always found that having the ability to communicate what's going on for you and talk to someone really, really helps with that. And if we're talking about how I keep it exciting, communication is a big one. I'm consistently communicating with people in regards to I'm talking to what I'm trying to achieve, what they're looking at achieving, and what I'm building. That's one. And I always have things that I'm looking forward to. I've got a new car arriving in December, which I've been looking forward to now since June, July last year. Long time now, but I'm very excited for that. You know, I've got holidays planned. I've got, it's just having different milestones that I'm looking forward to and that I'm counting down the days towards keeps me on track and keeps me pushing forward in a personal space at all times.
I think, you know, what I'm hearing the differences between us is each of us actually has an understanding of what we individually need and how we individually motivate ourselves to be able to turn up the best version of ourselves. And I think that all starts with just having a really honest conversation with yourself around how can I best manage myself? What do I need to do to manage my situation to the best possible degree? And then making some plans and sticking to those to move forward.
And starting. The amount of clients that we come into the platform and we talk to them and they're at the start of their journey, or they've been in business for a long time, but they haven't got to where they want to be yet. And it's simply, well, what are you doing that's different? What are you doing that's like not the same as what you were doing before? And they're like, nothing.
It's a really painful place to sit in when you've got all these ideals and things that you know that you should be trying to achieve.
Just start.
But aren't actively doing anything. And at the beginning, this is the hardest thing, right? Because you've got no momentum. You know, you want to be over here. You want to be fit. You want to be a successful business owner. You want to get out of this
Pick one and just start.
Just start. Don't try and do it all at once. This is how I do a lot within the time that I have, but I didn't start doing it all at once. You know, it would just start with 3 days a week. I'd show up to the gym for half an hour and I'd do a little bit.
And then you'd find sometimes, you know what, I'm here, I may as well go 45.
Or
getting there, starting was the hardest part.
Sometimes I'd turn up and go, I don't want to do this at all. And I pick up one weight and leave. But I showed up and I was there and I stuck to the commitment. And over time, I was able to do more and more. Same with the surfing. For 6 months, every time I went out there, every wave that come through smashed me. I hated it. But I looked at all the other people out there having fun, and I knew I just need to.
You knew you'd get there.
I'd get there. I'll eventually get there over time if I just keep showing up. And so it's the same. You know, we were talking earlier about sales, and you know, and that component. It's showing up, putting yourself out there consistently will get you the result.
All right. So we've talked about one of the first components for you is that personal space. How do we keep things exciting in business? Well, first and foremost, you keep it exciting for yourself. Keep yourself in a good space.
You got to keep yourself motivated. That's the key to all of this. Like inner peace, good mind space. I'm able to now bring that energy into the other areas of my life.
Now, if we translate that into your business day and us growing the company, you know, we've just signed a new lease like we talked about. We've got lots of team members starting. We've got new advertising campaigns that are going on. We're building lots and lots of content. We've got new programs launching. Our clients are doubling on average every 6 months. They're doubling their revenue base, their customer base, their teams, profit margins are, all those things are growing. So if we're in a space of business that's growing, for you, how do you keep this exciting in the business itself?
Definitely. So I think first of all, it's having a clear plan and setting out the things that you want to achieve, like you do with your own, the way you manage your life. I do the same thing when it comes to business. So we once a week, we catch up and we set our goals. We make sure that we're tracking towards those goals, and we break down the milestones that we need to achieve to get to where we want to go. So internally, I now know that this is the direction I am wanting to go in, and these are the things that I want to achieve. Having that baseline allows me to break down tasks and to be able to do things that are going to move me towards those goals. So that's exciting for me. I also just try and have fun with what we're doing and don't take it personally. Like, so much of the time, like even starting these podcasts and doing that kind of stuff, like I didn't know what I was doing when we were starting, but I just did it anyway. And I just tried to have a bit of fun with it. Don't take yourself too seriously. Show up, give it a red hot crack, and have a laugh. I think laughter and connection and communication within the workplace are super important. If I was just barking orders at you, or you were barking orders at me, and there wasn't that human connection and component that we've got going on in here, I don't think it would be much fun. We come up with exciting things to do at work. Go and have a day down at the go-karts, or go out.
Go-karting on the weekend. We didn't even talk about it.
No,
went go-karting last weekend.
Did you? This is a new habit of yours.
It is a new habit of mine. I did win again, but my time was a little bit slower than last time.
Yeah, right.
And I do want to point out, but while I might be winning each time I go, the record on the lap is 10 seconds faster than mine.
Yeah, right.
And
can't have been on the same cart, right?
One, there's no way, because I'm sitting there and like this thing maxes out at 80 kilometers an hour. I ain't dropping below 78 k's an hour the whole way through this. Like, we're talking each corner is taken. My average speed is 78 k's an hour. I'm like, how is this person achieving such heights? So it's giving me something to push towards, which is exactly what you were talking about before. Set your goals, set forth what it is that you want to achieve. And that in itself makes the adventure fun, because you're moving towards something.
The goals have got to be challenging. Like, they can't be too comfortable. I think the most exciting thing, and the thing that I'm experiencing, is I put these goals out there and these things that I want to achieve, and I show up and I show up and I show up. And it comes a point where it gets a bit mundane, or it gets a bit boring, or nothing's really progressed. And then all of a sudden something happens and something shifts, and I can see and I experience why I'm doing this and why it's all worthwhile, and I see the progress. But in the beginning, you just have to have this blind faith, and that's the hardest part. Once you start to experience some of the positive that come from your cumulative actions, you start to believe that this is all worth it. But it's just setting that momentum to begin with.
Mate, you are preaching today. I don't know if you're hearing this, but I am loving it. It's just you're on these tangents, and you can tell you're in your element right now. You're finding this exciting.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
I'm loving this content creation.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so for you, it's that space. That's how you look at it. If we talk about tangibles, we have one day a week where we work on the business, not in the business, and we don't do any delivery. We just really smash it out. Is a component of keeping it exciting for you new projects within the business? Like, does that excite you? Does hiring new staff? Like,
everything
what
in
is
life,
it?
like, if you do anything too repetitively,
no
matter how good it is, it gets boring.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but
you need to be adding in new, and you need to be improving and changing things in each of those spaces. Tweaking. If you just keep doing the same thing the same way day in, day out, without putting in any effort to grow or change or develop, then it becomes mundane, even the best things in life. So I think it's just, you've constantly got to be looking at how you can do that 1% better.
So let's look at this from the majority of our clients' kind of perspective. We're talking about trade and construction-based businesses, and they're pressed for time. Hiring's hard at the moment. It's not if you're doing it right. Lead gen's hard. It's not if you're doing it right. But all those things are hard, and an accumulation of feeling like you're beat down a lot of the time. What are some simple things that they can add into their day-to-day practice or their daily business lives that you feel could actually make it a bit more exciting?
I think that first of all is just look at everything that you're doing and try and flip it and look at how you can bring more fun and more enjoyment into what you're doing. Like, if it is sales, rather than sitting in fearing and avoiding getting out there and making some calls and doing some things, challenge yourself.
Yep.
How many people can I contact today? How many bookings can I get?
Yep.
And play,
gamify it.
Gamify it. Yeah, that's it. If it's, you know, working with the staff and you know, trying to better them and help them understand processes and changes in the business, like how can I flip that conversation around to get them engaged and how can I make the guy that doesn't laugh, you know? How can I have a conversation with a customer and, you know, make them feel respected and cared for? How can I just there is many, it's all, life is just a story that you tell yourself, right? It's all a story in your head. Whether you like it or you don't is just the story you're telling yourself. So how can I flip the script and make these things more enjoyable? How can I bring improvement to each of these processes?
Now you're dropping bombs, actual bombs today. I like it.
I think as well, in addition to this, you've got to be moving forward. So you have to have a plan and you have to be checking in with that plan regularly.
And this is where something like coaching comes in. You know, the first thing that we do with our clients is we establish that roadmap. What does it look like? Where do you want to get to? And we look at those milestones. And then effectively all they're doing is they're playing snakes and ladders, you know, going up a little bit down, going up a little bit down to get towards that end goal. They're playing Donkey Kong. Man, are you good at Donkey Kong?
I love
Mate, I love Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know, there's some barrels coming at you. You're jumping them. You're ultimately finding little shortcuts here and there to try and get to the top.
Trying to look out for the
rescue the princess.
Yeah.
Did you say Diddy Kong?
Diddy Kong? Yeah, he's the little guy that's on your side.
That was Donkey Kong too, right?
I don't know. One of them.
But anyway, I think that when we look at business, we have to start looking at it in the light that there is challenges, that it isn't just clear sailing, that, you know, as I said before, it's not always like this, but it's up, a little bit down, up, a little bit down, up, a little bit down.
And you can't let those challenges smash you.
They're the exciting parts.
Yeah.
It's how do I come up with a solution to that fact that we are going down a little bit, or that we've plateaued, or that, you know what, this staff member did this, or that, you know what, my revenue isn't that. Like, that's the fun in business.
Those problems are coming up because you're moving forward.
Yep.
If you were staying the same and if you checked out, like, you could probably keep life manageable and happy and not happy, but the same. But as you trudge forward and you're trying to achieve more, you're going to have things come up and experience problems where there haven't been problems before. And rather than seeing them as a problem, you need to look at them as a blessing, you know, because I wouldn't be having this if I wasn't moving towards my goal.
Yeah. If you aren't growing in business, you're effectively dying.
Yeah.
You know, market growth, everything occurs. And if you aren't going with it, you're staying stagnant. You know, I think of it as like, as a person, you know, as you as a person, as you go through your life, different challenges come up. And one of the beautiful aspects of being human is having the capacity and brain power to be able to think of solutions to overcome those things.
Yeah.
And then you look back, think about where you were 12 months ago. Are you a different person now?
100%.
Yep. Have you grown?
100%.
Yep. And that in itself is the excitement, you know? And we talk about that. Sure, there's those kind of things. And yes, we need to establish different milestones and different things that we can go towards. But there are short-term, small little things that we can do to enjoy things right now. And I think something you said around the gamification is it kind of keeps it as a challenge. Instead of looking at business and being like, you know, I have to do this today, or I have to do that. It's how can I actually excel at this? And how can I excel at that? Or how can I make this easier and funner and more simple? Because we talked about this in one of the last podcasts we did, that success is simple.
It is.
You know, it's how do we simplify what it is that we're doing? And that in itself allows us more time and freedom and money to be able to enjoy the things that we want to do in life.
And the sooner we show up and, you know, really give things a red hot crack, the sooner we can move through these challenges and we can get other people into the business that will deal with these challenges for us, you know. But we can't sit on the sideline and avoid. We need to consistently be moving forward.
So you said we're at the point in this business now where we've been going about a year. And this for myself is, I think, business number 16, if we talk about companies, not actual locations within that. This for me is business number 16. For you right now in the business, with where you're at, and I'll answer the same thing, what is the most exciting thing that you're looking forward to next in this business?
Okay. There's quite a few things that are going on right now that are really quite exciting.
Yep.
But I am personally looking forward to leveling myself up to a higher level of coach. So I'm personally spending a lot of time developing, listening to podcasts, reading, and developing as a coach to be able to operate at a higher level. Yep. And I really look forward to getting into that space and, continuing to grow as a person. Personally, I also am really excited about the growth within our team as well.
Yeah.
Having some new staff members around. I was interviewing all day today.
Having new skill sets for our clients to learn from.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
And people, people bring energy into a business. And it was really nice today to meet some new people and see how that they could potentially change and help our business grow in its culture.
But also how, and this is what I love, like I was sitting in the other office listening into a lot of those eavesdropping. That's what I do. I love to listen while doing other things. But also listening to how they could help the company, our clients, and how we could help them. How they would be able to grow from the wealth of knowledge that we have here in that department.
That was one of the exciting things of the conversation I had, like just being around business coaching.
Yes.
What that will do for them personally, as it has for me.
Yep.
Being in this space. What else? New office. We've got this flash new office.
It's double the size. I was thinking about last night. Triple street. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost 200 square meters of just coaching.
Just prime coaching.
Space.
Just ready to learn.
Ready to teach.
Teach.
Yep.
And I guess, the other aspect as well is just continuing to see our clients grow and move forward and achieve their goals. For me, a big component of what we do and the primary focus is how can I help people and have a positive impact on other people's lives.
Yep.
And I love seeing guys get their results and moving forward in life and getting the life that they dreamed of. So just more wins on the board for everyone. Yeah,
I like that. I like that a lot. For me, there's a couple, and I'm sitting here right now and I'm actually, you guys obviously can't see this, but over on my shelf is a nice bottle of Johnny Walker Blue. Drink responsibly, guys. We actually don't drink, really. So you don't drink at all, and I pretty much don't. Very rarely. Bar once a year.
Poorly.
bar once a year. Actually, I didn't do it last year.
No, you've been good.
I've been really good, but I do have the occasional drink. I'm happy to say that, but I definitely don't drink. I wouldn't say I'm a drinker. But that was given to us when we first started the business by a client, one of our very first clients, for when we hit a certain goal. And on our roadmap, because we ourselves established a roadmap for the business, that was a 3-year goal. And we actually just hit that last month.
There you go.
And we're talking 8 months in. So for me, if we want to talk about excitement, I've had that bottle sitting behind me every day for the last 8 months. And at the start, it was in 3 years' time when we hit X. That's what, I'll get to have a drink of that.
Are you telling me you're stinging for a drink? Is that what
I'm actually not. And that's what I'm talking. That's what I'm saying is that sometimes we have what it is that we perceive to be what we're working towards or what the excitement factor can be. But that's organic and it can flow and move at times. So for me, one, it's the simple fact that gets to sit there now and we've got to that goal and it's still going to sit there and it's going to remind me every single day of what this team did coming together. Against odds, like there was odds, against odds, what were we able to achieve? We realistically 3x'd our speed, to achieve something because we all came together and worked really hard for it. That's what that bottle symbolizes for me.
What I got from what you just said as well was that you actually have to take time when you achieve a goal to celebrate it and to sit in it.
You do.
I think we've been moving at such a pace that when we've hit that goal, we've actually just moved the goalpost further out. And if I look at my own life, like I'm always moving the goalposts and I never spend enough time just actually truly appreciating and celebrating what it is that I've achieved. Because if when we first started this business, you had said that in 8 months we'd be where we are, I would have been very, very excited about that prospect. And having got here, now I'm just thinking about the next milestone, milestone. So I think you got to slow it down sometimes, not for too long,
not for too long,
but just have a moment to really, really appreciate and do something special for yourself when you achieve something.
Yeah. Now, the second one for me actually happened last week. And I'm obviously I'm not going to name names because I don't feel that's appropriate, but we sat down with a client, and we've done it now with quite a few of our clients, which is something that hadn't happened a lot before in other coaching companies that I'd been a part of, is that we had achieved the exact goal that the client wanted to achieve. And we've done that multiple times here now, over and over and over consistently. And for us to sit down last week with the client and to see them at the full point of automation, they've been able to step out of the business, someone else is managing it. That for me, and that person was live in-house. Yes, we've done that for a lot of our clients, but we've never actually been live with them on that celebration. And to be there live with them, we were, down around the corner having a meal with them, celebrating. And we're flying to Sydney in 2 months' time to do it with another one. That to me is the excitement. Is that, like I said, for ourselves as a business, we've got the excitement over there. We achieved our goals. But for me, business coaching has got to this point now where I do it because of the results it gets the client. To see their face, I listened to you before in one of those interviews talking about the fact that our clients call us now to say, my partner's pregnant, or I'm pregnant, or I'm getting married, or
feel like a part of their family at that time. It's a special thing, isn't it?
And that's what's exciting to me at the moment. If you want to talk about what helps me to keep this exciting, to keep the romance alive, to keep me putting that fireplace on each and every night, and just getting all toasty about the business, it's those things. It's the simple fact that every day, week, month, I'm getting new wins from the clients, and then we get to share those with other clients, and that inspires them to achieve what they want to.
I love it, man. It's a good thing we're doing,
mate. It's a great thing we're doing.
And I think if you're a business owner and you're out there and you're looking at taking your business forward, you've got to find things that excite you. You've got to find ways to bring excitement into the business. And
if you're struggling to do that, you need to look at who you're surrounding yourself with and think, maybe I need to venture out a little bit here and get some different perspectives of how business can actually be, how we can scale businesses and keep it fun. Something that I hear, which is one of the saddest things that I hear quite often, is people, I was on a call the other day, a new client, brand new, first weekend, and he was talking about how he made more money when it was just him. And now he's got a team of 5. And to me, it's like that defeated feeling that he has that makes me so excited to do what I do, but also makes me like feel for these people. And it's now like, okay, great. Now you're in a space, and we had other clients on that call with him. Dude, we're here for you. Now you're in a space where you're going to make these changes, and we're going to get to a new point.
There's something you can do, and it's the most powerful thing. I see it all the time, from like the sales component, hearing someone come in and go, I've got all these challenges and these things I'm facing, and I don't know what to do, but I'm now ready for help. I'm now going to put my hand up and say, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm going to bring somebody else in to help me with that. That's when everything changes. It's not defeat. I think saying that, I don't know, but asking for help is one of the most powerful things you can do.
You want to talk about one of the most popular organizations in the world, AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. And what is the first thing they do every single session? And no, I myself have not been to a meeting for me, but I did grow up going to a lot of them. My family in that space, every single weekend was, going away with an NA crew or an AA crew. And we would go away to different parks and holiday things and all that kind of thing. It was a really exciting thing for me as a kid, not understanding what they were going through. But I always remember in meetings, the first thing is everyone gets in this space. Each person individually stands up and they say that they have a problem with something and they own it. And they're there for support from people, like-minded individuals that are going through either A, the same thing they're going through, or B, have been through it. And then they've got facilitators, coaches in that environment to help them go from where they are now to where they want to be.
It's the most powerful thing you can do. Ask for
Raise
help.
your hand.
Raise
Ask
your hand.
for help.
I don't know, but I'm going to find the answers from someone who does. And once you do that, everything can be different.
And look, with that said, if you are a business owner that's currently struggling, or you just want to surround yourself with people that are where you're wanting to get to, drop us a line. Nothing to lose.
No, absolutely not. Reach out. We're here to help.
All right, guys. See ya.